as a sign of respect as we are about to sing the national anthem. We will then request the choir to lead us as we are singing the national anthem. Over to the choir, comrades, absolute silence as we are singing the national anthem, please. Thank you. Let us allow the choir to render one item and then we'll proceed from there. Let's allow the choir, Satu choir, to render one last item, then we will proceed. Over to you, choir. Thank you, Satu. Thank you, Satu. Comrades from the security, we are calling on all security officials to allow members to come in now. There are many people who are still standing outside, and I think we are having a challenge of being kept by the security officials. Please, let's allow people to come in. Let the police assist us and guide the securities to allow people to come in. Let me invite, comrades, the provincial chairperson of COSATU to come and welcome us. Provincial chairperson.
Amanda! Amanda! Martha! Martha! Matimba! Matimba! All power! All power! Thank you, Program Director. Allow me to greet the leadership of the Federation, led by Comrade President, Comrade Zingiswa Losi, the leadership of the ANC present, led by the President, Comrade Ramaphosa, the leadership of the Communist Party, led by Comrade Solima Paila, the leadership of SANCO present, led by its President, Comrade Richard Shope, the leadership of the Women's League present, led by its President, Comrade Sisi Tolashe, the leadership of the Veterans League present, led by its President, Comrade Snooki, the leadership of the Youth League present, the members of the media present, workers present, and community members present. My work is very simple, comrades. I'm here today to come I'm standing here to welcome you all. But before I can do this, on behalf of the office bearers of the province, of the Federation here in the province, we are saying today it is a significant day to us as workers. It is significant because we are celebrating Workers' Day today. It is not only here in South Africa where we are celebrating, but across the globe. We are celebrating as workers. And we are not only celebrating, comrades, but we are also taking stock in terms of our gains and the challenges that we are faced with. But what is significant, comrades, for this month, it's a month when we are going to cast our votes. And we are going to cast our votes, comrades. We are saying as workers, we are saying as a federation, we are not confused. We are not confused, and we are not going to be confused by people outside there, because we know who we are voting for. We are voting for the African National Congress. That is why we are calling upon workers to go and vote correct, go and vote the ANC on the 29th of May. Amandla! Amandla! We are declaring this event officially open, comrades. You are all welcome. Feel free, relax, enjoy yourself. Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Amandla! Thank you.
Amandla! Viva Satu Nehau Pop Group, viva! Viva Satau Tinosa Sepau, viva! Viva Sapu Pausa, viva! Viva Samatu Ku Samu, viva! Viva Afatu Sakau NUM Sasbo, viva! Amandla! Comrades, let's invite the Deputy Chairperson quickly to acknowledge our leaders who joined us here today. In 2 minutes, Deputy Chairperson, please come to acknowledge all our leaders. Just 2 minutes, please, no speeches.
Mandla, 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 Tata ANC, Tata, Tata ANC, Tata. Thank you very much, Comrade Program Director, Comrade Dolub. Mine symbol is to introduce guests or to acknowledge guests present here in this very important event. The CEC members of COSATU, that led by the president of COSATU, Comrade Zingisalozi. One of them is a program director, Comrade Dolopi, the Deputy General Secretary of SADU, Comrade Masiti Wamanje Mokokong, Pope Crew First Deputy President, and Bonita, Comrade Bonita, SACP GS. Followed by Comrade Paket NUM General Secretary, Comrade Tutuzelo Satau President, Comrade Brenita Kluti, the First Deputy President of Sakau, Comrade Tekiso Pausa President, Comrade Matati, Pope Crew First Deputy General Secretary, Comrade Solomon Sadu, Vice President, Susan Kumalo, President of SACP. Those are COSATU CEC members present here. SACP CEC members that are led by the General Secretary of SACP, Comrade Solima Paile. There is Mzwandile Takudi, Comrade Comrade Tinyika, Tini, Comrade Rob David. I'm told that those are the comrades that are present here, Comrade. The NEC members of the ANC, that led by Comrade President Cyril Ramaphosa, is Mdun Tuli, Barbara, Comrade Supra Maupelo, Comrade Joe, Comrade Cyril Taba, Comrade Snuki Zigalala, the Veterans League, Comrade Sisi Tolashe, the Women's League, present here, Comrade DJ Pemza, she's here, Comrade Bengu present as well, DGS of SAMU present, Richard Thope Sango president. There is as well leadership of Muslim community, Comrade Sherik Raid Fatah present here. Comrade, we acknowledge all the guests present here. For those that we omitted, you are also, Comrade, acknowledged in this workers' gathering. Viva ANC, viva! Viva ANC, viva! Pata ANC, pata! Pata, Comrade Matamela, pata! Amanda! Thank you.
Comrades, because of time, we will try to run as fast as possible. But we are still inviting you, comrades, from time to time to introduce revolutionary songs such that we don't lose the element of us celebrating and commemorating this day. I will not stop you, comrades, if from time to time you find it, you do introduce songs such that you are part of this activity and not only allowing the leaders from this side to be speaking. Let us prepare ourselves for the keynote address. The workers will now be addressed by their president, our president, the president of the biggest federation of workers in our country. Let us invite with a strong, vibrant, revolutionary song, Comrade Zingiswalosi, to address us, comrades, at this national event. Sikelukolo no tando, sikelukolo no tando, sikelukolo no tando, keluko. Okay, Amanda, kolo. Sanganani, nani basebe heniko. Ay, kunzima. Nani basebe heniko ndepa. Sanganani Zenikonde pambili, Zenikonde pambili. Ay,
Amandla! Amandla! Long live Kosatu, 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 long live! Long live the African National Congress, long live! Long live the South African Communist Party, long live! Long live Sanko, long live! Eita, the PYA, Eita! Eita, the people of Palestine, Eita! Long live Winnie Madikizela Mandela, long live! Long live Violet Siboni, long live! Long live Christiani, long live! Maribongwe! Igama lamakhosikazi. Thank you very much, Program Director, the Deputy General Secretary of SADU, who is also our Central Executive Committee member of COSATU. Allow me to acknowledge the President of the African National Congress and the incoming President of the 7th Administration, President Cyril Ramaphosa. The General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, Comrade Solly Mabaila. The President of SANCO, Comrade Richard Mkungo. African for Palestine, MJC, Comrade SK Fatah. The leadership of the Federation and the leadership of the Alliance at all levels.
comrade leadership, most importantly, I want to salute the owners of the Federation, the workers and the toilers of our soil, members of COSATU who are owners of the Federation. We are gathered, comrades, here today as a federation to celebrate yourselves, workers. It is indeed the farm workers of Caledon who produce the food that we eat. It is the clothing workers of Epping who keep us warm. It is the police officers who keep us safe. The Workers' Day, comrades, it is a moment for us to remember those who came before us, who struggled in the darkest days of colonialism and apartheid, who fought to improve the working and living conditions of our parents, those who delivered this democratic South Africa. As a Federation of Elijah Bahai, we will forever be indebted to the generations of Ray Alexandra and Oscar Mbeta. Comrade leadership, May Day is an opportunity for us to celebrate our many victories, from our progressive constitution to our laws that are affirming the right of all workers to be treated with dignity. It is an opportunity for us as workers in South Africa and the world to reflect on the many challenges that we face, and also to say to our government and employers, we must indeed do better. Comrade leadership, we are celebrating 30 years of our democracy. Whilst at times, as workers and the working class, we are frustrated by the pace of change and our mistakes, we are proud, though, of how far we have arrived. Gone, comrades, are the days when workers had no rights, when workers were paid a slave wages and dare not to raise their voices lest they become arrested. Gone are the days, comrades, when our fathers had to leave their families in Tofimvaba and Matatiela to live in hostels in Langa and Guguletu. Gone are the days when our parents were removed from District 6 and Claremont and dumped in Hanover Park and Kenwood Town. Today, as workers, we enjoy the protection of a constitution admired by the entire world that compels the state to address the legacies of the past and the inequalities of today. We are proud that as we are gathered here today, sitting amongst us today is one, comrade, of the key architects of that constitution. He is seated here with us today, the founding General Secretary of National Union of Mine Workers and our President, Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa. He is a product of COSATU. He is a product of mine workers. He is a product and the son of the revolution. And indeed, COSATU lives and COSATU leads. Your federation, COSATU, and our allies, comrades, the ANC and the SACP, the former United Democratic Front, which was launched in Rocklands in 1983, we fought for this democracy that we have today. Today, comrades, workers are reaping the fruits of the struggle. Our Constitution, our Labor Relations Act, unashamedly, under the leadership of the African National Congress, protect all workers to form trade unions. It allows workers to form collective bargaining, and when workers are aggrieved, they have a right to go on strike. We are celebrating today 30 years of democracy, the Basic Conditions of Employment Act that provides workers with the right to go on paid maternity, paid parental, paid adoption leave, paid time off and overtime pay. In 2018, COSATU with the African National Congress extended these protections to cover mothers, comrades, that are recovering from miscarriages and who have had stillborn births. This legislation protects the fathers and the couples of the same-sex partners who are unable to conceive, to be able to adopt newborn babies that are less than 2 years. In 2003, 900,000 domestic workers were included under the Compensation of Occupation Injuries and Diseases Fund, which now is protecting our mothers, our fathers, our aunts who are working in the very closed environment that are very precarious. Comrade leadership, all we ask is that all South Africans are given a fair chance to fulfill their dreams and take care of their families. What we cannot afford to do as workers in South Africa is to think that, comrades, it is fair that the overwhelming majority of management positions are given to the white privileged men in our country. Critics, they say these are victories of the past, but these are victories of Nelson Mandela and Thabo Mbeki administration. Indeed, and these are victories of the African National Congress, because under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa, workers now are earning a national living wage, when in the past, a domestic worker will be earning a 6 rands an hour. Today, a domestic worker and any other worker in South Africa earns not less than 27 rand 58 cents an hour. In January, President, you gave us the extension of security of tenure. It was amended. The purpose of it was to increase the protection of farm workers and their families from being evicted by the farm owners. This act has brought hope to many workers across the West Coast, across the winelands, across the Overberg. Now, as COSATU, we are saying, on the 1st of September, President, after tireless campaign of COSATU, when workers in the clothing and textile and leather called upon the Federation when it was during the days when we were not sure of how the future is gonna look like, when the country had to close down because of COVID. COSATU sat down, responded to the call of clothing and textile workers when they called for them to be able to have withdrawals from their provident and pension funds. We went to the alliance, we negotiated, and we said, workers in South Africa across all sectors, public and private, they need to have access to their provident and pension funds. On the 1st of September, the ANC government will be delivering to the workers a two-pot pension system where workers will be able to withdraw from their savings in their pension fund and be able to still save for them to retire during the time of retirement. You see, comrades, all these victories will only be possible when we stand strong and united as a federation. When we understand clearly who continues to stand with us in the trenches as workers. It is not the DA, it is not the MK party, it is not the EFF, it is not the Action campaign, it is not any other political party except the African National Congress. It is the only party that is tested to have stood with workers before our democracy and during our national democratic dispensation in our country. Of course, we do understand, President, that there are many challenges that workers are dealing with. We understand that there are still inequalities in our society. We understand that we must address the issues of electricity and energy in our country. We understand that we still need to deal with Transnet in our country and all other important state-owned entities that drive the agenda of our economy. Because, President, we cannot afford to have workers, actually the working class, that remains with an unemployment of 42%. That 60% of that remains the young people. But we want to say today, as workers in South Africa, organized under your federation, COSATU, that on the 29th of May, we will stand by the ANC as we unleash our election machinery, as we crisscross workplaces from the farms of George to the shopping centers in Durban. We will go door to door from Mangaung to Rustenburg, ensuring that we are mobilizing every worker, every voter to come out on the election day and deliver an overwhelming majority of the African National Congress. Comrades, we are here standing in support of our government, of our movement, in support of the Palestinian cause. Our freedom, comrade, is not complete until the people of Palestine are free and they are liberated. Until the people of Western Sahara are free and they are liberated. Until the workers in Zimbabwe are free and they are liberated. Until the workers in Eswatini are free and they are liberated. COSATU members, we dare not fail nor disappoint our people. We have come too far, comrades, and we have a lot to do. Long live to the victory of the African National Congress. Long live. Ngena ANC to the 7th administration. Ngena. phila ngonaphakade Ramaphosa, phila ngonaphakade, phila ngonaphakade Khosatu, phila ngonaphakade, phila ngonaphakade the South African Communist Party, phila ngonaphakade, phila ngonaphakade Sanko, phila ngonaphakade. Malibongwe. Siyabonga.
Thank you, President. Comrades, like I said, feel free to sing and celebrate, comrades. We want to continue with our program quickly, and I want to urge or request all speakers to be mindful of time. We started late. Let us not put the last speakers under pressure. Let us please respect time. Our people have been here for a long time, so please, my leaders, in as much as you would want to speak, but be aware of time. I wouldn't stop you, but that's just the request I'm making. It's a humble one, of course. I will invite two speakers, comrades, one after the other. Firstly, we will invite a representative from Africa for Palestine, Comrade S.K. Fatah, to speak. After him, we will then allow somebody representing the Embassy of Palestine in the name of Comrade Bassam to address us at this important gathering, comrades. Let's invite them to join us now. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Free, free Palestine!
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Forward we shall march! Forward we shall march! Forward we shall march to a free, free Palestine! Allah! Forward we shall march! Forward we shall march! Forward we shall march to a free, free Palestine! Allah! Mr. President of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, all of our honorable delegates here on the stage, all protocol observed, the beloved people of Cape Town and South Africa, the workers of South Africa, Ahlan wa sahlan, welcome to all of you. I have a reminder for you. I have a reminder for you. The reminder is Gaza broke out of prison. Gaza broke out of prison. Resilient Gaza. Resolute Gaza. Defiant Gaza. And resistance Gaza. In the early mornings of 7 October, Palestinians across the West Bank woke up to the sound of explosions. No one knew what was happening. Fighters from Gaza had taken over. The only way through which Gaza residents reach historic Palestine, they have taken over Beit Hanun crossing. And soon the information came The war that imprisoned 2.3 million people. A war that imprisoned 2.3 million people had been breached. It came down, and we say, rest in peace, war. It was unbelievable. It was impossible. How could the people of Gaza break out of prison? Allow me to remind your honorable selves, the occupied West Bank, every entrant and exit point, Palestinian village, town and city, there was no allowance for freedom of movement. The Israeli occupation was suffocating the Palestinian people. They were suffocating them economically, suffocating unemployment. Can you imagine that you are in prison and you have to ask the prison warden for a job? You have to ask the prison warders, please give me a job. And of course, like prisoners that they see the Palestinian people, you get punished for misbehaving. What does punishment mean in their context? It means indiscriminate bombardment of densely populated areas. When we speak about indiscriminate bombardment, Langa listen, Guguletu listen, Kailitsa listen, Delft listen, Bonteheuwel listen, Mitchells Plain listen. The bombs rain down on these people. Bomb rains down. So in this context, when the wall came down, Palestinians felt liberated. They felt exhilarating. It was emancipating. It was a better freedom. Freedom! Freedom! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Everybody, I've been reminded, my time has come. But I do want to say, keep the people of Rafah in your prayers. They are fearful. Keep the people of Nusayrat refugee that are living in fear in the Shati refugee camp in Sheikh Radwan. Just yesterday the totals came in. The amount of people that the Zionist diaper soldiers had killed, 34,488 Palestinians have been killed, have been martyred, 14,873 children, 9,801 women, 76,643 wounded, 7,000 under the rubble. And we say to Netanyahu, Netanyahu, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Netanyahu, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Please repeat after me, everybody, because this is a momentous moment where we show thanks and gratitude to the President of South Africa. I say ICJ, you say Ramaphosa. ICJ! 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 Mr. President, history will write you and the government down as a president that stood for humanity and justice. Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Viva South Africa, viva! Viva Palestine, viva! Dear comrades, President Cyril Ramaphosa, President of South Africa, President of ANC, dear comrades Zangwisa, Lucy, the President of COSATU, Secretary General Comrade Soli Mabaila, all protocol observed. Dear comrades, brother, today I want just to thank South Africa President and the alliance and all the political power who demonstrated their support for our just cause. Also, I want to speak about the three promises. The first promise was during the dark time of South Africa, the Balfour Declaration, we called it Promise and Declaration. And you know, Balfour was the British Minister of Britain who promised Jewish to establish home in our historical land. This promise was drafted by the apartheid minister Jan Smith. You know who is Jan Smith during the dark time of South Africa. This promise or declaration led for Nakba, and you know Nakba is the catastrophe of Palestinian people. We mark every year 15th of May is the Nakba Day, which Israel destroyed more than 53 villages, committed more than 50 massacres, uprooted 2/3 of our people. And during the dark time of South Africa, the apartheid regime with the apartheid state of Israel changed the weapon to kill our two people. Today, in the democratic South Africa, after collapse apartheid, the second promise was from Nelson Mandela in Gaza, when he said our freedom is not complete until Palestinians became free. The third promise is the promise of Comrade Cyril Ramaphosa when he brought Israel to the International Court. And he said many times, our solidarity will be continual, all the oppressed people around the world, not only with the Palestinians. Last point, we wish that the alliance will achieve the overwhelming majority in upcoming election and to celebrate together next year here in the Worker Day in leading of President Cyril Ramaphosa. I thank you. Amadla.
Amandla! Viva ANC, COSATU Communist Party, Sanko, viva! Viva President Ramaphosa, viva! Comrades, we have three speakers, our alliance speakers. We will allow them to present messages of support while we are recognizing the president of the ANC Women's League who just joined us now. Malibongwe! Malibongwe! Comrades, let's invite the president of Sanko, Comrade Richard Nkungo, to come and address this May Day rally. Let us invite President of Sanko to come and address us now in this rally. Amandla! Viva Sanko, viva!
Viva Kosato, viva! Viva Sanko, viva! Viva NC, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Greetings, Kosato President, Comrade Nosi, African National Congress, Comrade Ramaphosa, SACP, Comrade Mapaila, and the Sanko leadership. We greet you all, comrades. Today, comrades, as Sanko, we have decided to attend and celebrate Kosato May Day with the workers. As communities, we are part of the workers and the workers are part of the community. So whatever we celebrate together. You fought for this day, comrades, from 1985, even before that. We launched Kosato, you fought for these days. Some workers lost their lives through this struggle for the Workers' Day to be recognized. Even Upoata fell sick because you could not compromise this day. That is why every year, Sanko is part and parcel for this kind of celebration, because we are happy. But you also fought for the liberation movement, comrades. Every time you celebrate this day, you must remember that the struggle continues. The living wage struggle continues, comrades. Therefore, as Sanko comrades, we are saying as part and parcel of defending our revolution, we should make sure that as we defend our revolution, Kosato workers, all communities, come 29 May and vote for the ANC, for the victory of our freedom, comrades. We must go there, all of us. We must be part and parcel of door to door as workers, as communities, so that all members of the communities defend the revolution, defend it from the mushrooming political parties. Make sure that the ANC remain in power so that the workers, whatever is left, they are fighting for is a success. Amanda! Thank you very much.
Amandla! Viva Nehau, viva! Viva NUM, viva! Viva Samu, viva! Viva Satu Sepau Sakau, viva! Viva Sasbo Sepau Ku, viva! Viva Fatu, viva! Viva Tinosa, viva! Let's allow the young workers, comrades, to just greet us. Let us allow the young workers, the future of the Federation, to quickly greet us.
Mantla! Hey, two! Mantla! Hey, two! Hey, Tolagan! Selekonen! Unite, Msebenzi, unite! Unite, Msebenzi, unite! Viva ANC, viva! Viva Sango, viva! Viva Kosatu, viva! Viva SACP, viva! Viva PYA, viva! Mantla! Hey, to the President of COSATU, as well led by the capable man, the President of the ANC, with the NEC members, the Secretary, the General Secretary of the SACP, with the Central Committee members, the President of SANCO, with the delegation, the President of the ANC Women's League, the affiliates of COSATU, greeting all the forces on the ground, Comrade Israel Sile Pambila, the NEC member of COSATU Young Workers. As we gather here, comrades, we want to also issue one message as well, greeting you, that the working class is growing younger. In that the working class is growing younger, what we wish is that young people must occupy the positions of responsibility. We are urging to the government of the ANC, to the alliance, that we must continue to create jobs. There must be programs that are structured to realize and to grow the economy of South Africa so that we realize the job opportunities. In that, as Wakata here, what we encourage all workers that on the 29th we go and defend the collective agreement. We go and defend the gains of the working class and ensure that we continue to create jobs. Viva African National Congress, viva! Kokela, Comrade President Cyril Ramaphosa, Kokela! Anta! Hey, two! Thank you very much.
Comrades, let us invite our vanguard party, the General Secretary of the South African Communist Party, to give us our line. We are inviting Comrade Solima Paila to come and address the Workers' Day, address the workers, part of the working class here today. I don't think we are under
Mandla. Matla. All power. Long live the Alliance, long live. Forward to socialism, forward. Down with capitalism, down. Comrade President Zingiswa Losi of COSATU, we extend our revolutionary militant greetings to you and members of the Central Executive Committee of COSATU, and to thank you for organizing this massive event to celebrate Workers' Day in our country and all over the world. We also send greetings to the leadership of COSATU in the province, particularly for organizing this activity. We pass greetings to the leadership of the ANC, led by President Cyril Ramaphosa, and members of the NEC present here, as well as the leadership of the province. We greet the leadership of the Communist Party, members of the Central Committee, and our provincial leadership and structures in the province. And greet the leadership of SANCO, led by President Comrade Richard Mkungo, members of the NEC and the provincial leadership. Greet, therefore, leaders of our respective mass democratic formations, President Snuki Zigalala of the ANC Veterans League, and President Sisis Tolashe, President of the ANC Women's League. Greet the leadership of the Young Workers Movement in our country, and greet Comrade Den Hato, the convener of Umkhonto we Sizwe Liberation War Veterans. Yes, Umkhonto we Sizwe Liberation War Veterans, the glorious People's Army, not the stolen identity that is now in the courts. The history of our Liberation Army can never be stolen by any single individual. We will never allow that to happen. So we greet you, Comrade Commander Den Hato, all commanders and commissars of Umkhonto we Sizwe Liberation War Veterans. We greet equally Comrade Basam, Charge d'Affaires of the Palestinian Embassy in South Africa, and Comrade S.K. Fatah from Palestine for Africa, for their presence here. Comrades, today, workers of the world are meeting to remember and to pay homage to those workers who died in 1886, who were killed by capitalism in Chicago, in America. The workers were fighting for simpler things: 8-hour working week, working day, and 40-hour working week. They were fighting for safer working conditions and for a living wage. Today, workers are continuing on the same struggle because of international capitalism that is exploiting workers, sucking their energies in order to build private wealth that is now amassed by various countries, colonial countries, that uses this to oppress other people all over the world. We therefore use this day to pay tribute to workers who played this critical role over the years to establish an independent and free South Africa with equal rights and a democratic government under majority rule. The progressive trade union movement in our country, that organized historically and supported also by the Communist Party in our movement, played a critical role in fighting for workers' rights, including the right to organize and to engage in collective bargaining, continuing that historic mission of workers in Chicago. We also equally appreciate the contribution by the trade union movement that had fought against the racist and sexist apartheid system, that had sexist and racist job reservation system, and fought for equality in the workplace and in the economy, and that our workers, their struggles combined, have brought us to where we are today, including bringing us political liberation. These workers have done even before 1994 and post-1994, our progressive movement continues to fight anti-capitalist struggle to free workers from the exploitation of capital in order to create a workplace wherein workers can enjoy their wealth and their labor. It is therefore, comrades, that as we celebrate this International Workers' Day today, our democratic government must be defended at all costs because of the challenges that we face, not only in our country but internationally. Under our hard-won democratic dispensation, comrades, May Day is now a public holiday. In other words, workers have their own day in which they can enjoy this day with their families and reflect on their contribution to the development of society. Their struggles, which they fought side by side with our alliance components, as well as the mass democratic movement, continue to liberate workers on a daily basis. It is therefore that we want to take this opportunity as the SACP to pay tribute to the workers for these critical struggles. We also want to call on the workers to unite and intensify the struggles to wipe out the legacy of racism and gender oppression, as well as of capitalist exploitation in our economy, to continue to expand and develop democracy, which must find its expression in the workplace. We therefore salute all workers who fought for the establishment of our rights, including the achievement that we have through the democratic government for the national minimum wage. This, while we regard as fundamental, should only be the beginning. We need more improvement, particularly in the private sector, with regard to commitment to a living wage for the workers. Because in this country under capitalism, we have got the working poor, where the people work but they remain poor because capitalism only enriches itself and a few owners of industry at the expense of the majority. It is therefore critical, comrades, that as we go towards the coming elections, we should appreciate where we come from as a country. We also need to appreciate that the DA government here in the Western Cape and as a party have committed itself to wipe out some of the achievement of workers' rights that we have achieved under democracy. They want to use the tool of democracy to do so. In other words, we need to defeat the unity of these capitalist forces and the neoliberal parties that have been established only to weaken the democratic government and to weaken the rights of workers that they have achieved over many decades of struggle. We want to also indicate that particularly the workers in the public sector, they have sent a clear message. Even the new part that the president could not pronounce, the president of COSATU, so-called Action SA, have equally committed itself to wipe out workers in the public sector. They say there are too many workers. There are not too many workers in this country in the public service. We don't have enough nurses. We don't have enough teachers. We don't have enough police. We don't have enough all of other public servants that are required to serve our country. It's because of their addiction to neoliberalism that they see the state as a corporate entity that must make profit at the expense of workers. It is therefore important that we reorganize ourselves and unite ourselves to defend our democracy and our freedom. At the same time, comrades, we appreciate that the world is in crisis today. There's an international crisis of capitalism. The modern capitalist system is called neoliberalism. Neoliberalism's ideology is liberalism. Liberalism itself is in crisis, is in decline. It's in a moral crisis, in a moral degeneration. It is causing wars, genocides across the world in order to protect few countries, the so-called G7 countries. That's why today we have the occupier state of apartheid Israel as a regime that has taken over the land of Palestinians, supported by international capital, committing genocide of women and children and the people of Palestine, week in, week out, protected by international capital, funded by the Americans and European countries unashamedly. They are causing wars in all parts of the world. They are attacking the people of Yemen on a daily basis, bombing the people in Sana'a and other parts of Yemen for no reason, particularly just for Yemen to express itself in solidarity with the suffering masses of Gaza. They are isolating and attacking all countries that are not following neoliberal projects in the world. They have isolated Venezuela and are punishing it. They have isolated Cuba and they are punishing it. They have isolated Nicaragua, they are punishing it. They have isolated Iran, they are punishing it. They have isolated Russia, they have launched a war against Russia through the proxy of Ukraine. They are provoking China in the South China Sea, in the Taiwan Strait. So imperialism and capitalism only thrives in war. That is why even in this country, they want to remove a democratically elected movement, the liberation movement, and put their stooges in order to control our country and the African continent. That is why, Comrade President, these elections, this is a massive election, not only for the African National Congress and the people of this country. This is an international election against exploitation. This is an election between the African people as a whole and against the oppressors of the West who want to take us back. That is why the people of our country must know, if the ANC loses this election, the setback in this country will be centennial. That's why we should make no mistake, all of us. We are going all out to vote for the African National Congress through representing the people of this country and its allies, representing international community suffering under imperialism and neo-colonialism. Therefore, these coming elections are so crucial for us. It is therefore critical that we all come out in our numbers, all our family members, to participate in this important vote. President Ramaphosa, you are at the front line of this war. That's why even yourself, you will be attacked on a daily basis. But you must know, imperialism was not going to keep quiet after what you have done by taking the genocidal and terror state of Israel to International Criminal Court of Justice. To International Court of Justice. Now, we want that warrant that has been issued against Netanyahu to be fully exercised. But we also want the American leaders and European leaders to be arrested for the genocide in Palestine. The entire war cabinet of Netanyahu must go to jail for killing so many people in full view of the whole world. This is completely unacceptable. So we are saying to our people, whatever the challenges, we will resolve those challenges. We ourselves are committed to working together with our movement to resolve these challenges, to make sure that we deal with austerity that is imposed by the same international capital on our countries. It is in this regard, Comrade President, that we want to wish workers a great celebration of May Day. This is your day, workers. You have earned it with your blood. You must enjoy it forever and forever. But guarantee continuous enjoyment of this day by voting for the African National Congress. Amandla! Long live the ANC, long live! Long live the Alliance, long live! Forward to socialism, forward! Down with capitalism, down! Thank you very much.
bayivuna ngawuphinde awubaphinde bayivuna.
Ramaphosa. Selifikile ixesha. Comrades, we will invite our last speaker to this great event, great commemoration of May Day, Workers' Day in Cape Town. Our next May Day will be here again after winning the elections on the 29th of May. We will host another National May Day next year in a province that is free. Let us free ourselves on the 29th of May, such that when we come back next year, we host our National May Day again here in a Western Cape that is part of South Africa and not a republic, a false start that must come to an end on the 29th of May. Without waste of time, comrades, let us all rise, strong song, a revolutionary one, to invite the President of our country, the President of the African National Congress, the movement of the people, to come and address us. Let us all rise and invite President Ramaphosa, the champion of the people of Palestine, the champion of the children of Palestine, the champion of the disabled in Palestine, the champion of the elderly and the women in Palestine. Let's invite the President to address us now. My apologies, just 1 minute. The police at the 4th floor are with a lost boy, a boy who got lost somewhere here. We are requesting a parent who lost a boy to please meet the police at the 4th floor. The boy is wearing a SACP textile, black t-shirt. Please, as we are inviting the President to come, go to the 4th floor to get your boy there as well. Thank you.
Viva COSATU, viva! Forward with COSATU, forward! Forward with the workers' struggle in South Africa, forward! Viva ANC, viva! Phambili neSANCO, phambili! Phambili neSACP, phambili! Malibongwe! Igama lamakhosikazi! Roar, young lions, roar! Roar, young lions, roar! Forward with the real MK Liberation War veterans, forward! Amandla! Dumelang! Molweni! Sanbonani! Abhishek! Abhishek! Dimasiari! Lochani! Goeiemiddag! Good afternoon! Amandla! I extend my greetings to the President of COSATU, Comrade Zingiswa Losi. I extend my greetings to the members of the National Executive Committee of COSATU who are here present, to the members and the leaders of COSATU in the province of the Western Cape. I extend my greetings to the leadership of the South African Communist Party. Comrade Soli Mapaila is here with us. I extend my greetings to the leadership and the president of SANCO, Comrade Jerry, is here with us. I extend my greetings to the leadership of the ANC Women's League. Comrade Tolashe is here with us. The leadership of the ANC Veterans League is here with us. The leadership of the MK Liberation War veterans are also here. The leadership of various organizations, including the leadership of the Palestinians, various organizations fighting for the freedom of Palestine. Today we celebrate the achievement of workers in South Africa. We remember the generations of worker leaders, of organizers, of shop stewards, of shaft stewards, and many unionists who fought for the rights of all workers and the freedom of our people. We also recall the sacrifices that were made in the cause of freedom, the lives that were lost, the suffering that was endured by so many workers in our country so that we could achieve our freedom. Many were killed because they made the mistake of aligning themselves with the liberation struggle of our people. Many fled the country because they were liberation fighters. Many were forcibly removed from their homes, from their land, because they dared as workers to stand up to the apartheid misrulers of our country. Today, on Workers' Day, we say that we will continue with all the strength we have to continue the struggle that workers have always engaged in, the fight for liberation, total liberation, and the fight against exploitation. As the African National Congress, being here to give a message of support to COSATU, which leads the workers of this country as the largest federation, we say that we will continue to fight for the rights of workers. Noma bayathanda, noma bathandi, i-ANC izohlala ihamba nabasebenzi. Ons gaan niet reg nie. Ons sal met die werkers van hierdie land saamloop. We are going to continue supporting them. We will continue the fight for the poor, for those who do not have land, for those who do not have jobs, for those who don't even have houses. 30 years ago, the people of this country went to vote in their very first democratic elections. They stood in long queues for many hours, black and white, men and women, from all walks of life, from all classes and all backgrounds, to determine the future of their country. I remember the day very distinctly because I chose to go and cast my vote amongst and with mine workers at Kloof Mine in Western Area, the mine that we organized for the very first time in 1982 as the National Union of Mine Workers. And I'm delighted today to see the mine workers very strong at this rally, still united. I'm glad to see the members of various other unions, donned in the uniform of their unions, still united. I voted alongside some 10,000 mine workers on that day. As I was making my way to the polling station, standing in the queue with the mine workers, I was approached by an old mine worker who said, "What we fought for these years and what you also came and fought for has now been attained. I can now go and retire and die." What he said was true. The achievement of democracy in 1994 was what we had fought for many decades as workers, as communities, and as a people. And although he was old, and he felt that his struggle was over for the South African masses, this was the beginning of a new era of struggle. Yes, we had won the right to vote, to elect a government of our choice, to write a new constitution, but we knew then, as we know now, that the struggle against poverty, against inequality, against unemployment and exploitation was not over. But what did we fight for? What did you as workers fight for? And what did you as workers fight for and achieve? You fought under the rubric of the Freedom Charter. You wanted those freedoms that are inserted in the Freedom Charter to be attained. You wanted democracy in your country. That has been achieved. You wanted a new constitution. Yes, that has been achieved. You wanted the recognition of your unions. in the legal form. That has been achieved because soon after freedom, we enacted the Basic Employment Act that gave recognition to unions. Our unions, having not been recognized for the longest time, but as the struggle intensified, yes, they were recognized, but that recognition was tenuous. It needed to be strengthened by what should be inscribed in the Constitution. That was done. You wanted collective bargaining. That too has been achieved, and in recent months you have sought that collective bargaining should be entrenched, it should be consolidated in all sectors, yes, including in the government sector. And I can assure you that collective bargaining is here to stay. What you fought for to get collective bargaining will continue to be respected. And you as workers, whether in the private sector or in government, I want you to be assured, as President of the Republic, that your collective bargaining rights are entrenched and are guaranteed, so they will continue. You wanted the right to organize. That too has been achieved. One of the most important rights you wanted was the right to strike. The right to strike was never always there in our laws because workers could easily be dismissed when they were on strike in spite of having followed the prescripts of the law to have a ballot and all that. But our new constitution, at your insistence, as COSATU, as the working class movement, you insisted that the Constitution should have the right to strike. And it is there, it is yours, you have won it. So therefore you have the right to strike, and that strike will never be, that right will never be taken away from you. You wanted to have the right to compensation when you get injured at work. You have won that right, and most recently, even domestic workers won that right, and we are delighted that even domestic workers now have the right to compensation if they get injured in the workplace. The other most important right that you fought for, inscribed in the Freedom Charter, was the right to a minimum wage. Today, after years of struggle, you have won the minimum wage. South Africa now has a national minimum wage, meaning that we have set a level below which a worker may not be paid, and that right belongs to you. You won that right. You wanted to celebrate May Day like you are today. That right now belongs to you. May Day as a holiday belongs to you, and I would say your families as well, because this is the day on which you should come to a rally like this. We finish early and you go home and you relax with your families. You wanted the right, yes, to be co-owners in the companies that you work for. That too has now been enshrined in our laws, that as workers you can be co-owners, and we are seeing that beginning to gather momentum. And we thank the Department of Trade Industry and Competition under Minister Ibrahim Patel, who has led this process to enable hundreds of thousands of workers in our country to be co-owners, to be shareholders in the companies that they work for. And we are going to see this gathering momentum. I want to see those who produce the wealth, those who are the ones who toil in companies, to be co-owners in those companies that they work for. You wanted to ensure that those workers who work on farms should not be evicted at the whim of the farm owners. You wanted that we should have labor tenure rights, and today we do have a law that protects the stay and the tenure of those who work on farms. And we want all farm evictions to come to an end. We want those employers who continue to evict workers to stop, so that the workers may continue enjoying their rights. So, comrades, the African National Congress led our alliance, working together as the ANC, the SACP, COSATU, SANCO, to lead this charge to ensure that South Africa indeed does become free of apartheid. But we also know that we needed to deal with the damage that was done by apartheid. We still need to complete the work that we set ourselves out to do. We still need to return the land to those who work the land. We still need to ensure that the harm that was done against our people when they were forcibly removed from their land and houses should be addressed. And we still need to provide our people with basic requirements for a decent life: houses, electricity, water, food, and health care. We still need to undo the effects of Bantu education, to transform our schools completely, to end illiteracy, and to ensure that our people have the skills to find decent work. We know that we still need to tackle high unemployment in our country. We still need to remove the barriers that kept African, colored, and Indian South Africans from full and equal participation in the economy of our country. Yes, we still need to overcome the many burdens that women in our country face, particularly the African working class women. So, on the 27th of April, we gave effect to the call of the Freedom Charter to say that the people shall govern. Now, over the course of the last 30 years, we have worked to give fulfillment to what was set out in the Freedom Charter. We have done all this largely because the workers of our country united and said that we are going to ensure that we win our freedom. And today, we, as the people of South Africa, stand here to celebrate this May Day with you. But at the same time, we thank you as the workers of this country for having stood up and became part of the motive forces that brought about the change that we started on the 27th of April in 1994. Had the workers not stood up and joined this struggle, I can tell you now that it would have taken us much longer. But because you as workers of South Africa, you said enough is enough, we are going to join this struggle. As we fight against the bosses, we are also going to fight against the apartheid regime. And comrades, you engaged in a gallant fight, and we raise our flags to you and applaud you as the workers of this country for the contribution that you made. And it is appropriate that even on Workers' Day, we should continue to thank you, because you brought about these changes that we have. But much more than that, we thank you for making the economy of South Africa to work. The economy of our country revolves around the axis that you are for the economy of our country. You produce the food that we all eat. You drive the wheels of this economy. You produce the clothes that we wear. You are the ones who produce the wealth that this country has. And you need to be recognized for that and to be thanked by all of us, because it is you who do indeed provide, yes, the ability for us to live as we are in our country. So comrades, you are thanked and you are honored as comrades for having stood firm in joining the struggle and in being part of this struggle that should now move forward to address the challenges that we face. Through the struggles that you have waged, yes, we have seen this progress. We now, moving forward, want to have you as part of the struggle to ensure that we tackle unemployment, we tackle inequality, we tackle poverty. And it is through working together with yourselves that we will be able to do precisely that. For you, as the trade union movement, you have come forward always with proposals, with good thoughts, with innovative ideas that have really, in the end, taken our country forward. Yes, you've had visions that have been able to enable us to bring about the changes that we have made in legislation. For instance, you are the ones who have said you need a basic income for our people. When we introduced the social distress grant, the 350, it was you who said, we want that to be extended until we get to a stage of having a basic income grant. And we are on the way, comrades, to move in that direction. Urged and led by yourselves, we will be able to get there. Yes, you also said you want the national health insurance. You advocated for years for the national health insurance, for you wanted all our people to be treated equally when it comes to health care. The National Health Insurance Bill has now been passed, and now it's coming to my desk And as I was sitting here, the president of COSATU, Comrade Zingi Swalosi, was saying, President, if you don't yet have a pen, COSATU has a pen, and we are going to give it to you today so that you can sign this law into operation. This has been your struggle. This has been the struggle you have engaged in. Comrades, what I also appreciate about the matters that you have taken up, as opposed to what many would say, you have taken up matters that go beyond just advantaging working people. You have always sought to look at matters that will advance the interests of all the people of South Africa. You are often accused as being very parochial, as looking at your own interests as workers. But I can testify that your approach has always been to look beyond even your own membership, but to look at what are the interests of the people of South Africa. That has been clearly exemplified with your approach, yes, to the minimum wage, yes, to national health care, and yes, to matters that affect our people as a whole. You are the ones who have also advocated for our people to get houses. You have also advocated, yes, for the spread of electricity in our country. You have also advocated that the challenges that we have of our logistics, of our electricity, should be addressed in a very, very effective manner, with your members in the unions participating. So it is in this regard that the people of South Africa should thank you indeed for making sure that indeed you are a federation, you are a working class that wants the advancement of all the people in our country. You have also been advocating that every child between the ages of 5 to 15 must be in school. You have also been saying you want early childhood development to be consolidated so that real education should start at a very early age, so that we reach the point where we say our children do strive by 5, and that beyond that we have consolidated how they should be taught. And you have also said we need to expand, yes, the no-fees schools, so that more and more of our children should be in no-fee schools. You have also said we need to expand NSFAS to provide funding for more students in tertiary education. And yes, this is what you have advocated for. And this is what you have been urging our government to fulfill, because you as working people know how education can advance the livelihoods of our people. Now, comrades, as we move forward, we want in the end to ensure that working people are skilled. We have started a program to spread skills in quite a big way, utilizing the funds that we have that are currently lazy capital, to give skills to working people, to ensure that even the young, the middle-aged and the older comrades or people in our country get jobs. Let me be clear. Yes, we have a very high burden of unemployed young people, which we are addressing in a variety of ways. Those who are 18 to 35. But comrades, our government is not leaving those who are 35 and above aside. And we say even those who are 35 and above need to be prioritized to get jobs, because they also need jobs. They also need work. We should not just be focusing on one section, whilst we recognize that the majority of those currently who do not have work are young. You also know that since the democratic government came into office, we had 8 million people in employment. Today, we have 16.7 million, meaning that we have created jobs, and we are going to create more jobs. The message that comes from COSATU is very clear, that we should focus on creating jobs, and this is precisely what we are going to do. But we also say, in the course of doing so, we must ensure that the rights of working people are not reduced in any way whatsoever. Your working rights must remain intact even as we build our economy, because this country today is where it is because of the contribution that you as workers have made. As we do all this, comrades, we are also focusing on the empowerment of women. The women of our country carried the heaviest burden of all. Their burden was being oppressed because they were black. They were also oppressed because they were part of the working class, and they were also oppressed because they were women. And we say it is therefore important to focus on empowering women in our country as well. We will therefore lead the charge together with yourselves to empower our women, not only in our factories, not only in our mines, but all over. We want women to occupy their rightful place in places of leadership, in places in parliament. As the African National Congress, you know very well that even as we go to the elections now, 50% of those our people are going to elect are women. Women will no longer be left to be second-class citizens in our country. They must be first-class citizens, because that is the rightful place that women in our country must occupy. Our sisters, our aunts, our mothers, our grandmothers deserve to be well placed in the life of this country. That also means that we as working people must also rise and address the issue of gender-based violence. Comrades, as workers, we must rise and lead the charge against gender-based violence. We must ensure that the women of our country are respected, are recognized, and they are not harmed in any way whatsoever. And I say that we all as working men must give the due respect to the women of our country. We are going to urge all men, from the leadership positions to all other lower positions, to sign the pledge a pledge that we want to popularize much more in the 7th administration, a pledge that will be signed by men, that we will respect women. As a man, I will never raise my hand against a woman. We must say, as a man, I will never make a woman uncomfortable about abusing her in one way or another. And we say the abuse of women in South Africa must come to an end. We, as workers, must lead that charge. The women of our country are the mothers of our nation who bring life into this world, and therefore they need to be given the due respect. Comrades, we also say you as workers need to join this fight, to fight for those who are oppressed around the world. And today, as South Africa, we have stood up for the rights of those in other parts of the world are currently being subjected to torture, to violence, to genocide. And that is why, as a country, and yes, as an alliance, we have stood firm in our support for the people of Palestine. And that is why we say we want Palestine to be free. We want the people of Palestine to do what Madiba said should be done, that they too must enjoy the freedom that we are enjoying. It was Madiba who said, our freedom will never be complete until the freedom of the Palestinians is achieved. We also want the people of Western Sahara to win their own self-determination. We want to continue supporting all those around the world who continue to have their human rights abused. Having won the right to human rights ourselves, it is important that we should support the human rights of those who are subjected to oppression around the world. Comrades, on the 29th of May, we're going to elections. Those are going to be the most important elections. But there are those who go around, various political parties, who go around who are our opponents. They run around the country like little brackies, running around and saying all manner of things, saying "Nyue, nyue, nyue, nyue," saying that the ANC is going to be below 50%. I want to give them a very clear message. The workers of this country, the people of this country are not going to allow the ANC to go below 50%. They are working for an outright majority of the African National Congress. And here in the Western Cape, we are going to show those who believe that the Western Cape belongs to them, that the African National Congress is coming after you. The African National Congress is going to show you, because that is the one organization that has proven over the past 30 years that it cares for the people of this country, having led our people as a whole to bring this country where it is. President Thabo Mbeki yesterday, that those, as he was reflecting on the 30 years of democracy, and he made quite an important point. He said, those who say nothing has been achieved in the past 30 years are saying something that is false, that is not true. In other words, they are living in dreamland because a lot has been achieved in the past 30 years. But he also urged everyone that we should work together to make sure, comrades, that we work for a victory of the African National Congress. So I urge us all, as workers here, firstly in the Western Cape and in broader South Africa, as workers, there's only one political organization that has advanced the interests of workers. All the others that are out in the field campaigning do not have the good intentions to advance the rights of workers like the African National Congress has done in government. So remember that as workers as we go to the polls. And therefore I want to rally all workers to be active volunteers of the African National Congress, to go out and make sure that we achieve this decisive victory that awaits us. Because on the 29th of May, the ANC, and for those who think that the ANC will not emerge victorious, the ANC will indeed emerge victorious. They don't know us abasazi. Basizwa nje emaphepheni, basizwa nje ku-TV, abasazi. That's why sithi ka Sesotho re batla go kgalemela lenyatso. A re tsweng ka bongata ba rona re ile go kgalemela lenyatso. Basibukela phansi abaninzi, sithi masiphumeni ngobuninzi siyobabonisa ukuthi u-African National Congress ngubani na, ukuthi kulelizwe inkunzi iyodwa nje, leyo nkunzi i-African National Congress. Bayeke ukudelela i-ANC, bazoyibona kakuhle ngomhla ka-29. Sithi kubo kom onsalele Moives, sanibonisa kakuhle. Niyabasaba na? Niyabasaba na? Amandla. Forward to victory, forward. Forward to victory, forward. Ngena ANC, ngena. Pata ANC, pata. Wina ANC, wina. Mandla. Forward with the alliance, forward. Mandla ngiyabonga.
Comrades, that's the last item. The last item, are you ready for the Temple Boys? Are you ready for Mr. Taylor? Are you ready for Blackstone? Are you ready for Comedian Mashabela? Don't go, just 1 minute. Mr. Taylor is in the house. The Temple Boys are in the house. Comrades, they are young boys who wants to give the president a token. And the token is on behalf of the people of Palestine. So let's just allow them to hand over the gift. Invite the president. Yeah. President Bafulu, okay. Abandon president. Immediately, I fully born and I the president. Let's invite the president to receive the gift from these boys. Come, boy. Come. Go to the baby. I'm an anger. Oh, there they come. Yeah. Where are the gifts? Oh, yeah, yes. There, the gifts. Give the boys. The soccer ball was signed by the national team from Palestine. All the players of the national team of Palestine signed the soccer ball. This is on behalf of the many children who are killed in Palestine, the elderly, the disabled women who are killed in Palestine. Where's the boy? Come. Where's the... Come, boy. Come. Okay, just say whatever you want to say. Let me just raise you.
Free, free Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
Let me assist you. Oh, there we go.
Thank you, Mr. President, and we love you.
Say it again.
Thank you, Mr. President, and we love you.
You want to say something again? You also want to say something? Free Palestine. Okay, let's go.
Free, free Palestine!
Again?
From the river to the sea.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you, comrades. Let's allow the deputy. Thank you, President. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let us invite the Deputy President of Pop Group, first Deputy President of Pop Group, to do the vote of thanks, and from there we'll get into entertainment. The next one is the You want something? Are we ready for the Teller Boys? They are next. The Teller Boys are next.
Mata! Viva Kosatu Viva! Thank you very much, comrades. Mine is just to do the vote of thanks. You're taller than me. Comrades, let me take this time just to thank those who have made this event to be a success. But let me first start with our PEC members here in Western Cape of COSATU, who have been working hard, tirelessly, to make sure that this event becomes a success. And in doing that, they were not alone. There were the branches of the African National Congress, members of the South African Communist Party, members from SANCO, who have been actively participating in all activities leading to this day. We want to thank you, comrades, to making sure that this day becomes a success. And also thank the leadership, starting with our own Comrade Losi, thanking the President of the African National Congress, Comrade Matamela, thanking also Comrade Solima Paila, the GS of the Communist Party, thanking also the President of SANCO, including the leads of the African National Congress. We also want to thank you, the comrades who are here, because if you were not here, obviously our leaders were going to address and empty chairs, but because you are here, you have made this event to become a success. You yourselves, you are the guest of the honor to this event. Can you just clap hands for yourselves? Then lastly, to thank also the members of media for making sure that you give this event a good coverage, and I hope you are going to tell a good and a positive story about today of all that has happened. And lastly, to thank you, the DGS, as the program director of today. Thank you very much. Comrades, we are not done. We are now going to dance. Thank you.
Comrades, let's invite the media to join the leaders for a press briefing. Okay, let's just go this side. Comrade Mashengu will direct you as to where you will be. While we are allowing our leaders to join the media, we will invite the young workers to lead our next program. Amandla! Uzayithola kanjani? Uhlele koneni?
Aye, basebenza aye. Aye, basebenza aye. Ayititiyele basatha ayititiyele. Yes, thank you very much. As we are entering into a program of entertainment, now we are going to call upon to the stage as the president or the leadership is going out. Comrade Yaziteng, the president.